Our state's laws on cell phone use while driving is quite vague, and different cities like Battle Creek now making their own changes to the law. Tom Sinus joining us today to let us know exactly what we need to know about whether you should be using your phone in the car. And the answer is pretty much in a nutshell, not really.
Yeah, I mean, the safe answer is you shouldn't.
Right.
And the problem that we've had, and you and I have talked about this over the years, is that the state legislature is just having a hard time getting current with the technology.
Exactly.
And getting current with what other states are doing.
Exactly.
So what we're seeing, what we saw last year, and what's now officially in effect, is a city like Battle Creek has decided to say, well, we're going to deal with this terrible safety problem on our own.
Okay.
We're going to pass our own ordinance that is current with technology and says what we mean it to say. And so what did Battle Creek do? Well, they passed this ordinance in 2019, but it's really in effect as of December when they finally got the signage up in town.
Okay.
And the basic rule here is no phone use in the city of Battle Creek.
How about that?
You can't look at your phone, you can't talk on your phone if your phone's in your hand, you can't scroll through stuff on your phone. All the things that cause distracted driving is no longer permitted in Battle Creek.
Even can't even hold it as a speakerphone because you're still holding it and distracted.
Right. You can use a hands-free Bluetooth device
go.
to talk, but all the other stuff that distracts us by handling the phone is no longer permitted in Battle Creek.
Okay.
And if you do that in Battle Creek, you can receive a civil infraction, or what we sometimes call a ticket. So what about state law? Well, state law is still stuck with this old definition that says what? It says you're not allowed to type or send a text message on a two-way device located in your hand or on your lap, doesn't say anything about the dashboard, while operating a vehicle that's moving. The problem, of course, is that that doesn't prohibit people checking their Facebook feed,
Sitting at a red light,
playing a video game,
through.
or what about phones that people put on their dashboard?
Yep.
You set at a red light. All those things are not addressed by state law, and for some reason, the legislature just can't seem to get it on the priority list to solve the problem.
Right.
So you've got cities like Battle Creek trying to say, look, we're going to step into that vacuum. But of course, the big takeaway here is what you said at the beginning. What really matters the most is doing what is the most safe thing. And nobody can argue with the statistics that distracted driving, cell phone distractions in vehicles are causing thousands of injuries and deaths every year.
Right.
And if, heaven forbid, you cause an accident because you're using a cell phone, regardless of what's going on in cities like Battle Creek or the legislature, the law of negligence still applies if there's a civil claim against you. And the law of negligence just asks this basic question. Were you exercising reasonable care while you were driving?
Yeah.
Well, if you're checking your Facebook feed and your tweets on your phone,
silly like that.
it's pretty hard to say that that's reasonable care.
For sure.
So we have these various areas of law, and they're kind of trying to catch up with one another.
Right.
But like so many things you and I talk about, do what makes sense, do what makes safe.
Yep. Take accountability. Don't wait for the government to force us to be accountable. Where do people track it down, Tom?
They can find us online at www.sinusdramus.com. Give us a call in West Michigan at 616-301-3333 or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramus.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.